What's up, everybody? 40 the BulbulSaiyan here, and in this video, we're going to be talking about why I personally think Linzy is a lot better now with her recent buffs. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Alright guys, before we go ahead and get started with this video, I always want to remind you guys that if you enjoy what you see on this channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, that way you're not missing out on future uploads, leave a like on this video, and comment down below what your thoughts are about Linzy's recent buffs in Eversoul. So about a few days ago, I want to say like we're almost approaching a week, we got that balance patch for some of the characters that were deemed as either underwhelming or not performing as well as some of the other characters. That way they were able to be given a chance to be used for harder content and things like that. And one of those characters is Linzy, who is pictured here in my menu screen. If you haven't played her love story, I highly suggest you do because I love that picture. But anyways, let's actually go into my souls, and I'm gonna go ahead and choose Linzy right here so we can talk about her for a little bit. So Linzy was one of the characters that got an upgrade, and we're gonna get to that in a sec, but I just want to kind of recap on what Linzy does. So she is a human warrior. She is labeled an assassination, and the reason being is because her main skill, she goes behind an enemy target that has the highest attack, and then she deals them damage. She will deal them additional damage if she has that daze buff going on. That's the reason why they label her as an assassin, but the way that I actually see her is she's kind of like a pseudo evasion tank of sorts, because when her daze buff is active, she's also going to be provoking that target for about 4 seconds, and also the more daze that she has, it also places like a blind debuff on them, and then she also has a higher chance to crit. So she's kind of like a pseudo evasion tank, not a full evasion tank, but a pseudo evasion tank with a little bit of an assassination, and she is still a warrior. So that's how I like to view Linzy. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the upgrade she got and why I think it's actually made her significantly better. So she got one upgrade, right? And if we take a look at it, it's part of her main skill, which is Avenging Sword. So the upgrade came in the form of the very first upgrade that this can get. Now, originally, at level 81, you unlock the first upgrade for her main skill, and all it did was it gave her a damage boost to this skill. And then her upgrade 2, which you unlock way down the line at level 181, is when you get the more damage boost, and you also get the stun on the target for 2 seconds. With the buff that they put in, now you get access to that stun for 2 seconds at level 81. And to me, that is fantastic because it gives Linzy a lot more usage across, players in the community who, especially those of you who are free to play, you guys aren't always constantly spending your Everstone and tickets. You guys are trying to plan your resources wisely and things like that. And if you really like Linzy, and she's a favorite of mine, and I know a lot of you guys really like her, this is awesome. And I actually think this character she's a really free-to-play friendly character is what I'm trying to say, because now you don't have to worry about getting dupes of her and doing all that stuff. You could simply just get her to level 81, or if she's not part of your main 5 that you're leveling up, but you still love to use Linzy, you could just, use your level sync grid and put her in that grid, and then she just syncs up to whatever the 5th highest level character that you have. So for example, let's say you don't have resources to invest in her, but then like your top 5 characters are like, let's say all level 120, Linzy will sync to being level 120 as long as she's in that grid, and you'll instantly get access to this amazing upgrade and buff. And that stun really comes in handy. I absolutely love it because you just see Linzy go to the back of the line, and let's say there's like a pesky DPS character, like let's say like an enemy Naya, or let's say like an enemy Vivian, or an enemy Mephistopheles, or something like that that's like really super annoying. Linzy will literally go right behind them, deal damage, and then have that stun off, and that 2 seconds can be very vital and key in taking out that unit that's giving you a lot of problems. Like for example, let's say you come across like a hard stage that has like an enemy Ingame, and Ingame can be very dangerous. Linzy, as long as she's still alive, she can go to the back line, deal her damage, and place that stun, which allows the rest of your team, to be able to hopefully finish off that unit that's giving your team a lot of problems. So I absolutely think Linzy is a lot better now. I know on the Pridewin website, they actually updated her on the tier list for the mid-game content of PvE. She's actually at S tier now, which I think that is a deserved rating now that she has access to the stun. She's also very useful currently right now for the the Corrupted Chloe boss event, because during one of the phases of that fight, once the boss, you know, does that little animation where she rolls her eyes back, all you gotta do is stun it with an ability. Linzy does that, and then you get to unlock, you know, the ability to use your ultimate, and you just rack up the amount of damage that you can do. So Linzy is awesome now. Super glad that they gave her this buff. On paper, it looks like it's very minor, but I actually think it's really, really good. It makes her also a very great character for free-to-play players to focus on, should they want to focus on her, because now you have access to this amazing buff that she got. So we're gonna go ahead and actually take Linzy in action here. Let's go to Adventure. We're gonna go to Gate Breakthrough. I'm already experiencing a disparity here. Ooh, this one might be tricky. I ain't gonna lie, this one might be tricky, only because every time I come across an enemy Miriam, they tend to target my DPS, usually Linzy. But let's just see what happens. This is the team that I've been running. I've been running a hybrid human fairy team. So I run Chloe as my tank. She's just amazing. I've been running Mephistopheles, who is absolutely nutso. I actually think she's really, really strong. I got her at Origin, and I'm running Linzy. I'm running Naya, because we got the sleep for Naya. And then I'm running Jiho, and I have a separate video for Jiho because I underestimated this character. I initially said I was gonna skip her, but I actually pulled for her, and I don't regret it one bit. So I have a separate video for Jiho. But this is the setup that I'm running, and we are gonna go ahead and face this enemy team off, and let's observe our Linzy. Hopefully she doesn't get killed right away, because then that would defeat the purpose of this entire video of me hyping up Linzy. But trust me, guys, she's awesome. I've been using her a whole lot more now, even before she got the buff. But now that she got the buff, I've been using her a whole lot more. Okay, so let's see here, observing the Linzy. She's right now dealing with that Ira. Oh, that Ira's already down. There we go. There we go, we got the stun off. Interesting that she targeted the Clara? I guess Clara had more attack than the Naya, alright. But you see the stun went off, so it just makes it easier to pick off the units now. Look at that. There we go, and that heal like barely did anything. So even with a defense buff that they have, there you go. Linzy just takes off there. Now Linzy's gonna go after the Naya. There we go. We got the stun off there. There we go. Boom. That unit's down, and that is all she wrote. I feel bad for this poor Sunni. There we go. So pretty quick, but as you can see, I love the upgrades that she got. That stun comes in really handy because she goes behind the unit that has the highest attack on the enemy team, deals a ton of damage, places the stun, which allows your other units to potentially pick off that unit. So if you're coming across any enemy units that are like giving you trouble, dealing a ton of damage, and you're noticing, oh man, I really need to get rid of them, you know, if you don't have Jacqueline, I would say Linzy is a great choice because now you have access to her stun just from the first upgrade at level 81. So hopefully you guys understand a little bit more about Linzy now. She's great. I absolutely love her. Hopefully you guys give her a try. Let me know in the comment section below if you've been using her, if you've been loving her, because I absolutely have. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody.